Soulfire Wisdom with Kate Olson. As an evolving spirit and change adventure navigator, it is Kate's mission to empower and guide you on your path and inspire your truest passions. She will encourage you to share your gifts, speak your truth, and ignite your inner wisdom and purpose. She hopes to do so with a little humor and grace, and her own soulfire passion. Kate talks with amazing guests who have embraced the pursuit and are fanning the flames of their own passion, purpose, and soulfire wisdom. Now here's your host, Kate.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Soulfire Wisdom and Tips, Tricks, and Triumphs Tuesday. So if this is your first time listening, I'm a hypnotherapist, NLP practitioner, life coach, and a Reiki master. But I like to call myself a change adventure navigator because I love guiding clients through obstacles and adversity to find their path, purpose, and peace. So before we get started today, I'd like to talk a little bit about regrets. Because I had a client come in and she said to me, the first thing she said when I asked her, why she wanted to do the coaching was, I just have so many regrets. And my first impulse was to say, well, stop that. But I knew that wasn't the answer she was looking for. So we talked a little bit about it, and I asked her to, go through some of the things that were on this list of regrets that she had. And in general, regrets are just something we need to let go of. But a lot of people do spend a lot of time holding on to them. And that is a form of living in the past. And as you know, we really can't do that. So we went through her list of regrets, and some of these, I'm just going to mention a couple of them, are things that a lot of people might have on their list of regrets. So one of them was, she said she regretted getting married so young and to the person that she married. And I said, oh, well, why is that? And she said, well, because, I was too young and the marriage didn't work out. And I said, oh, well, why did you do it then? And she said, well, we were in love and, I thought that it would work. And I said, okay, well, that sounds like you made the best decision that you could at the time. And then I said, well, did anything good or positive come of the marriage? And she said, well, yes, I had 2 beautiful children. And I said, oh, okay, well, good. And so if you had made another decision and you hadn't had those 2 beautiful children, would you be happier with your life now? And she said, no, of course not. And we went through her whole list, and it turned out the same way on every single regret. She had made a decision to go in one direction, and she now regretted that she had made that decision. But if she had the choice, she wouldn't have gone in the other direction because something came of that choice that she wouldn't want to give up now. And that is always the case in life. We never know what the outcome is going to be. And we make a decision to go one way or the other. And then we move forward. We can't go back and change it. So having regrets about things we did in the past is just a waste of time. We need to let that go. So we have a great show planned for today. My guest is Lori Hardman, And Lori is a singer, songwriter, and performer from the Seattle area. She started singing as a child and was strongly influenced by her very musical family. As kids, they performed whenever they could. And she and her sister, Kelly Pence, who idolized the group Heart, would often pretend they were Ann and Nancy Wilson. Lori was Nancy, and Kelly was Ann. Encouraged by the fun that her family had performing and singing lessons, Lori developed her talent all through school. Music and performing were her first loves. That is, until she became a mom. She absolutely loved being a mom and her daughter. And she took a break from music to raise her daughter. But after her daughter was grown, she found herself looking for inspiration and again was drawn back to music. With the encouragement and support of her local music community, she started Lori Hardman Band and has grown continually performing and recording music that has actually spanned the globe. Lori is known for her strong vocals and diversity of style, performing blues, country, R&B, and rock and roll. Along with Robert Hammerstrom, she has written 15 original songs, and those are available on YouTube in most music venues. So I am really happy to introduce Lori now. She was on the show just about a year ago during COVID, and we said, that I would have her back once she got back to performing. So, hi, Lori.
Hi there.
How are you?
Hi, Kate. I'm good. Thank you.
So, to start out with, just fill in any of the gaps there. I know I gave kind of an overview, but fill in any of the gaps in your background and what led you to your current path.
My current path, well, as a kid, I always just naturally was drawn to performing. I didn't hesitate to go up on the stage or do solos or join the choir, join the church choir. My brother was in a band for a long time, still does music, and that's a huge influence for me. This musical family of people that I've met, my friends and everything, are just inspirational daily, and I'm always meeting a new performer or having a new experience, or it's just something that keeps me on my toes all the time. We're always looking for new places to perform, new people to perform with, and trying to challenge ourselves in our own talent. So
yes,
that's where I am right now. I'm having
when we talk
fun.
Okay, so last year when we talked during the middle of COVID, you were, you were kind of limited in what you could do. So you were doing a lot of writing, and I guess just tell us a little bit about how you got through to where we are now in COVID. I would like to say it's over, but
Yeah, I'm really trying to keep balanced and everything in perspective, and not trying to panic that everything's all over, because it's not. Life moves forward. I did a lot of hiking. I did a lot of writing when we had our break. When we started to come out of it, we masked up as we, should and could, and found a studio to record in, Mirror Sound Studios, and recorded a song, wrote a couple more songs, and got them worked out. Actually put one out on the radio stations already. Then when it started to come back, it came back full force for a little while. So we had a pretty packed summer, and then it just started dying down again. So, I work it when I can, and when I can't, I take that time to hike and do other things. So,
Okay. So, when you were able to start, going out and performing live as you were for a while in the beginning of the summer, or till recently, was that hard to get back into doing that after being off for so long?
it was kind of hard. On my first show, I was really excited, and I ended up kind of having some vocal issues through the show, and it made the show difficult. And I thought, what the heck's going on? But the second show, it came back, and it's been just getting better and better and better. Every show, I'm playing with better and better people, and just growing. It's a constant growing thing, and music's something that you can practice alone while COVID has got us shut down. So, I do my exercises vocally often, and exercise for my lungs, which is hiking and fresh air.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something a lot of people don't know, that I read, that singing is actually good for both for your immune system and for your mood, your mental well-being. So
Yeah, singing feeds your soul in a way that I haven't found anything else to do. I suppose if I was a runner and I just ran the best race I could, then I would probably get that same feeling. But it feeds every part of your body. You're using your vocals, your diaphragm, everything, and you're learning as you're doing it. So you're using your mental abilities and your oxygen
yeah,
and
I
your
was
social
surprised
skills.
at all the different systems that are impacted.
Yeah, and it
So,
strengthens your lungs and your happiness, and those two things are always good for your health.
yeah. So even if you can't sing well, singing is good for you. So
Yes, I mean, whatever you do that brings you joy is, I would say, good for you. Yeah.
yes.
And definitely being outdoors and getting fresh air and deep breaths. And I think that's
Yeah.
what singing does.
I didn't know anything about this then, but my son and I, when he was a kid, we used to go hiking, and even though I can't sing, we would sing when we were hiking, and it always felt really good. So
It feels so good. Yeah. After a show, I'm completely wiped out and exhausted because I'm dancing the whole time too. I'm up on stage, and the music moves through my whole body, so I can't stand still.
yeah,
So I just feel like I've just used all of my energy in such a healthy way, and it tires me out. Pardon me?
so you have your own band, and you mentioned singing with the people that you work with. Who are the members of your band, and tell us a little bit about them?
Well, this summer I've been working with James Howard. He's an exceptional guitarist, lead guitarist. He's got a lot of background playing with in churches, and he's won the Washington State Blues Awards for the whole state. I'm playing with Chris Layton, who's one of the best drummers in the Pacific Northwest. And they have named a blues award after him because he's so good and would continue to win the award if they didn't just name one after him. So I'm very lucky to have played with him for about 6 years now. And as of recently, I'm playing with Lynn Sorensen, who has played with Bad Company and very well known in the Northwest and I think around the world. Another bass player I've been playing with, Patrick McDaniel, has just blew me away by his abilities to play. Just unbelievable, the talent that I've been exposed to lately. It's just, I feel so honored. And you were reading that we grew up listening to Heart. Well, I ended up getting to record with Roger Fisher from Heart and sing backup for him for his 70th birthday party.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, it was a dream come true. And then do a small show with him at a bookstore. And so we're friends, and that's an ultimate dream come true. Yeah.
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 So, what do you like best, performing live or recording in the studio?
Performing live is there's this energy that I really can't explain. It's the best energy that I could do for myself. It's a release. It's fun. You're feeling everybody else's energy too, which is when they're watching music, they're having positive energy. So it's just like an exchange of positive energy, and it's just the best feeling. In a studio, it's it can be some hard work, but it's very satisfying, and you know that you're creating something. So it's kind of a completely different thing. It's like an apple and an orange. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So are you still writing new songs, and is there anything new coming up?
Oh yes. I'll probably never stop as long as I can keep going. We've got about 3 songs in the works, and I've got a great manager in the Netherlands in Europe. So he's taking care of my music and gets it out to about all the stations he can out there. So Belgium and the UK. I've been on the charts in the UK for about 8 or 9 weeks straight now in the top 5.
Yes.
So yeah, we're keeping it going, and it's something I've always done. I've always liked to write or express my feelings on paper and then sing, and then, you know, the combination just, and then perform. So I've combined it all, and it's just, I'm doing what I love.
So do you have some goals set for the band?
Yeah. The next step for me is, since I'm a growing artist, is to get some theater acts where we can fill a theater, you know, and casinos and things like that. I mean, it's been kind of on a smaller scale because I did stop for quite a long time raising my daughter and then got back into it. So it's starting from the beginning, really.
Mhm.
And so you really have to earn your way up to those things. There's a lot to learn in the music community about how things are done.
Mhm.
And you don't see that from the outside, but going through it, you really have to earn your way to get to where you want to go. And so that keeps me driving forward.
So are you wanting to travel around and do shows all over the country, or?
I don't know if I want to drive around and do shows all over the country. As long as I can perform, I'm happy with that. As long as I'm performing for an audience or even for a few people, but with good energy in the band, I'm really happy. Of course, I want to challenge myself, and I'll probably say no. I'll never say no to an opportunity. So if any opportunity comes along that I earn, I'm going to go for it.
Okay. So what's the most challenging aspect of, you know, your career and being in the music industry at this point?
I'd say scheduling. Well, finding your personalized group of individuals that you share good energy with, that you find your perfect group of people that you just get on stage and you just thrive off each other's energy. That was it took a long time to find that, and when you get that, it's everybody feeds off of it, off of that positive energy, smiling on stage and just having the best times that we can have, and that makes everybody else just have that much fun. And then I'd say the harder thing about that is scheduling. Scheduling is super hard to book the gigs. I think is fun and challenging to get everybody's schedule straight, because if you're not performing all the time, a lot of the bandmates share other bands. They're in other bands as well. So you have to
Mhm.
share their schedule, which is okay and it's good. Otherwise, you'd be responsible for their working all the time, which is it's not possible. So yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I see where that would be a challenge.
yeah.
So, what is the most rewarding aspect of it?
The other day I had a show, and there was some children, just little children out there dancing so hard and asking for my autograph and trying to take videos of me. And this little girl said, "I want to be a singer." And there's nothing more satisfying than that. It was the cutest, sweetest, nicest, most satisfying thing in the world. My granddaughter went to a live show outside, and all of a sudden she got up by herself and started doing the air guitar like she just could not control herself.
Ah,
And it's just that natural, innocent instinct to just joy, pure joy. That's the most satisfying thing I could ever see.
yeah, I imagine. So, tell you started selling some merchandise. How did that come about? And tell us a little bit about it.
COVID is how that came about with the t-shirts. I thought, well, what am I going to do now? And I can still keep my name fresh in people's heads and maybe use this opportunity to start selling something, branding my name. And so I had an artist, write up my name in a design and ordered some shirts and sold out about 4 times. So, and which were sold out again. And I've got a lot of people wearing my shirts, and I've got a lot of CDs sold, and it just kept me in the game for a little bit during COVID lockdown, and it was a good thing to do.
Good.
Yeah.
So this is a kind of off-topic question, but I've been asking everybody for a while. So what has surprised you most about life so far?
What has surprised me most about life? Well, I've had a super great life. So, the appreciation, I don't know, that's a hard question. The appreciation for it, the awesome people that exist, and the love that exists for my girls and my family and the awesome people that come into my life unexpectedly. I feel like at a certain age or a certain point in our lives, when we kind of let things go and realize and start living who we really are, things fall into place a lot easier, and life is just better, and there's a peace that falls on us when that happens. So that was that's something I've learned.
Surprised that life was easy when you stopped
Fighting it. Yeah.
fighting. Great. Awesome. So if you could, make one wish now of, what would happen in your life or the world, what would that be?
My wish right now is that if I could just have one, I mean, I would wish for everybody's health, but I also wish for everyone to have a little more respect for each other, freedom of thought, and independent personalities, and not be so vile to each other when they have difference of opinion.
Yeah, that would definitely be nice.
Yeah, that's been a strange experience to witness over the last few years.
Yeah.
It seems like it's been more blatant, I guess, since we have this computer that people hide behind, and they just feel free to say what they want off the cuff without
regard to other
regard. People. Yeah. So
yes, definitely.
Yeah, I think we've all experienced that a little bit, and just taken aback by it.
Yeah. So, if you could leave the listeners with one thought from today's show, what would you want that to be?
I would want that to be, I would hope that everybody finds what brings them joy, and find a way to make that part of their everyday life, and just try your hardest to enjoy your life and listen to that joy and let it grow.
Yes, great advice.
Thanks.
So, how can people get in touch, find your music, the merchandise, info on upcoming performances, all that stuff?
So I have a website, LoriHardman.com. You can find my music on there. You can also find my music on YouTube Deezer, Apple, Spotify, um, Spectrum Radio is playing my music all the time, and for independent artists. There's a contact page. My Facebook page, my Facebook band page, Lori Hardman Band. You can always book me or ask me questions or do research into my band, what kind of music we do. When we perform live, we do more classic rock, blues, danceable, high energy music. In my original music, it's more folk, mellower, a little bit mellower country folk, stuff like that.
Okay. So this is usually my last question, but I do have another question that I kind of wanted to ask you and forgot. And that is how you have a fairly diverse range of the music that you do. And how did that develop? Yeah.
Well, I have 5 brothers and sisters. And so there's a big range in age. And every one of them had their genre of music that they loved. Then I've got my daughter and my granddaughter that love their music. So and then my parents both loved their music. So I love the oldies, and I love the rock and roll classic. I love the R&B. There's a little bit of rap that I like. I mean, I've just been exposed to all of it, and there's a little bit of each thing that I don't care for, but there's a lot of each thing that I really do care for. And I think you can just find a lot of talent in each genre, classical, everything, opera.
Yeah, that was one of the things that surprised me most when I saw you perform, was how comfortable you were with different styles, and you performed them in the same, show. So, yeah.
Yeah, I try to mix it up, and I try to give that generation some memories of, not just one period of time, but a few periods of time.
Yeah, great. So thank you so much for being here today. I hope that, that it's not too long before you're able to perform more on stage, and that COVID will finally resolve itself.
Yes, so, I hope that too.
So I want to thank the listeners for listening today. I have a quote for you to carry with you through your week, and that is, words make you think, music makes you feel, a song makes you feel a thought. And that was said by E.Y. Harburg, or he's Yip, called Yip Harburg. So thank you again, Lori. We have another great show planned for next week. Next week, my guest will be Terry Britt. And Terry is a former Miss USA. She also she did a podcast on Contact Radio, where my first radio show, Embrace Change with Kate, was. She did a show called Leading with Love, and she was on Contact Radio for a long time. A really great show. And now she is the founder of Women Leaders of Love, and her the foundation of her group is showing or leading women or creating women leaders who know their worth. So tune in for that show next week, 3 p.m. That's the 31st. And so I'm just going to say bye for now. And thanks again, Lori.
Thank you very much, Kate. Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you for listening to Soul Fire Wisdom with Kate Olson. We hope you enjoyed the show. If we made you laugh, brightened your day, or sparked a new thought, we have succeeded in our mission. Join us next time when we'll share more secrets and truths and all the magic of transformation that is the journey to Soul Fire Wisdom. Always remember, be fierce in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire.